Simpler is better. That's just all there is to it. The simpler something is to explain, the simpler it's going to be for your audience to understand, and the simpler it's going to be to execute on that plan. Hey everybody, Steve Howe here. I just wanted to share with you this one quick tip about how to get better results in any aspect of your life. And that is keep it simple, stupid. Yes, the old KISS mentality, K-I-S-S. We get so wrapped up in the complexity of life, and especially right now with technology just going crazy, AI platforms, different pieces of tech out there that can improve your life, and different systems that you can set up to automate everything in your life. The more complicated something is, usually the less effective it actually ends up being in the end. And let me explain. The simpler something is for you to understand means that it's going to be easier for you to explain it to somebody else on the back end. And the easier it is for you to explain, the easier it is for them to actually grasp the concepts that you're trying to get them to understand. Let's take a CD, a certificate of deposit. This is a very simple investment. You put your money into a bank or a lending institution. They keep that money for a certain amount of time. And then at the end of that term, they give you back your money plus a little bit of earned interest. Very simple concept for almost anybody to understand. You give them money, they give you more money after this time period has expired. Well, now you can get into stocks or mutual funds or bonds. And some of those have simple concepts to understand as well, but some of them have dividends, and some of them appreciate over time. Some of them depreciate or lose value over time. And then when it comes to mutual funds, you have all sorts of products out there trying to diversify, trying to get these different types of stocks or other mutual funds within that mutual fund itself. And it becomes way more complicated to understand and to figure out, are you making money or are you losing money? Specifically with financial institutions and financial products, I tend to think the more complicated something is, the more the actual bank or the lender is trying to get more money out of me. You see, they're going to tie up things into terms of service, rules and regulations, and all the little fine print that nobody ever reads. They're going to take money from you little by little in any way that they can by simply making it more complex. They want to confuse you. They don't want it to be simple for you to understand in the name of,
well, this is a very sophisticated product.
We get the best returns for our clients.
No. Usually when someone is trying to sell you on a complex idea or product like that, they're just trying to confuse you enough so they can take money for themselves or for their company. And this simplicity rule doesn't just apply to money making or financial services. This applies to everything in life. If you're looking to accomplish a goal right now, all you need to do is define what that goal is and in the time frame that you want to achieve it. You have to write it down, of course, and you have to make it easily understandable so that you could give that piece of paper to somebody else who never met you, don't know anything about you, and they could say, oh, this person wants to achieve X by Y date. Boom, simple, easy to understand. The next thing you'd have to do is obviously apply daily principles or action items in order to achieve those goals. That's where keeping it simple and cutting it down to the bare essentials is the easiest way to explain something to someone else and the easiest way to actually accomplish that goal in the end. You know, one example that comes to mind right now is the movie Moneyball. It basically tells the story of the Oakland Athletics back in the early 2000s and an idea that baseball games are won and lost by certain data set. Instead of trying to figure out personalities or styles of play, they're looking strictly at the analytics and at the data. Now, for some people, that might seem complicated because data can get a little bit overwhelming if you're unaware of how things work in terms of baseball in this instance. But what they figured out is we need to score X amount of runs in order to win Y amount of games. Okay, how do we score X amount of runs? We need people who can get on base. We need people that can hit or walk. We need people that can strike people out and stop other people from getting on base from the other team. And we need people that are cheap as well. So they put all this data together and they spit out very easily understandable numbers so that they could go out and find the individual players that matched that set of criteria. Yes, maybe the process itself was a little bit complicated, especially because it was a whole new concept that a lot of people in the baseball and sports world were not using back then. But what they were able to do was to get rid of all the noise around how to acquire players and how much to pay them, and would they help this team win or would they not help the team win. They were able to figure out who and what and why they wanted to go out and get a certain player. And that ended up leading them to the playoffs with an extremely low salary base, where most other teams were spending hundreds of millions of dollars trying to get those star players and trying to get those wins by paying more money. Simplicity is all around us and we just don't know it. If you want to lose weight, what do you have to do? Everybody knows it. You've all heard it. There's tons of training programs, there are tons of videos and resources and information about how to lose weight and how to be more fit. But it really just comes down to two simple things, and you know exactly what they are. Eat less, exercise more. That's it. That's simple, okay? You don't need to figure out this brand new technology. You don't need to be on a crazy specific diet. You just need to eat less and eat healthier, and you need to exercise more, or maybe exercise a little bit smarter. And within those two concepts, there's such a crazy world of complexity that people build out. But in the end, you just have to do those two things. It's not complicated. It is simple. Keep it simple, stupid. So I don't know about you guys, but I've been applying this principle to my life and it has worked wonders as far as my productivity and my focus goes. I'm able to easily target my goals and then go out and hit those targets based on just simple daily action items and simple accountability. I hope you found some value out of this video. If you did, go ahead and leave a like so that it spreads across the YouTube galaxy here. If you want more information about success, building wealth, financial freedom, go ahead and subscribe to the channel for more weekly videos on all those topics. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you. As always, we'll see you in the next one. Peace.